Cybernation Uncensored.
Hey, we're officially live. Everyone should be able to see us and hear us now. Well, hopefully. Everybody say hi. Let's check your mics.
Yeah. Hello, hello.
Hey everyone.
Hey,
Hello, everybody.
yeah, and chat, let us know if anybody is coming across muted, any videos are frozen. Just let us know. We'll get it fixed right away. This is our weekly new team, Team Nevermore, every Saturday right here. We were supposed to start session 1 last week, but I was still feeling a little bit sick. I'm still a little bit under the weather, so if I sound a little nasally or if I happen to cough during the session, I apologize now. I'm still shaking it, but I didn't want to put it off any longer. I know we did our session 0 the week prior. I was excited to get started, and then, of course, I got sick. So, like I said, I didn't want to cancel another week, so here we are. Yeah, this is Team Nevermore. I'll get into like a little recap on what the team's about, what they have going on, right before we dive into today's session, which will be our official session 1. But before I do that, before we get into that, let's do like we always do. Let's go around the table. Everyone introduce yourself. Let people know, where they can find you online, and introduce your character as well. Will, start it off.
I'm Will. I am playing the character of Gnostics, the Netrunner from a drift nation up in the North Atlantic. You can find me on Twitter at Billy Huddles or on the Discord for Cybernation Uncensored as Rook. So hit me up if you want to chat us sometime or say hello.
Oh yeah, Nick.
Yes, I'm Nick King. I am playing Hank C., the Rocker Boy, and you can find me online at linktree.com/thekingsquare, and you can also find me on our Discord channel, RobGrad98.
Oh yeah, Raven.
Hey everyone, I'm Raven. Tonight I'll be playing your medtech Ripper Doc, Jax the Ripper. You can find me all over the internet at Doña Trece Cuervo, and I'm working on a High Riders campaign that'll be launching soon. Be on the lookout. The High Riders are coming.
Hey, excited about that. Alex.
Hi, I'm Alex Maxwell. You can find me Wednesdays at Wicked Studios LLC on Twitch. You can find me at Stormwolf92 wherever video games are played. My little burgeoning blog started very recently. Alex Maxwell's Musings. Just throw out my random written crap. And today I will be playing Scarecrow, the solo, and the corporate Black Ops guy.
Oh yeah, April.
Hello, everyone. I am April Hill. You can find me at stiletto_assassin on Instagram and stiletto DM on Twitter. And I am tonight I'm playing Kish Sticks, who is a media.
Oh yeah, and I'm Rob Mulligan. I'm the founder of Cybernation Uncensored. This is my channel. Founded this quite a while ago, but now it's not just me. We showcase a bunch of other game masters, both current, past, and upcoming, as well as a bunch of series, tutorials, just all kinds of content. Check us out, Cybernation Uncensored here on Twitch, also on YouTube. We also have a very active podcast, Discord group, Twitter, anywhere you see social media. Hit up Cybernation Uncensored. I would really appreciate the support. Like I said, this is our weekly gameplay where I am the game master every Saturday right here, same place, same time for Team Nevermore. Team Nevermore is basically owned by Raven Microcybernetics, and they have to do, what they're told. They do it for a nominal fee. As you know, in Cyberpunk, you can pretty much sell yourself to a crime family or a corporation or join the military for some extra money during that character creation, and our entire team has opted in for that, and thus that's how they work together. That's kind of their thing. Team Nevermore is basically a team that has to work for Raven Microcybernetics. So that's how we're going to start this off. That's how we're going to start our session. Let me get some Sirenscape going. Shout out to Sirenscape, our official sponsor here at Cybernation Uncensored, adding awesome sounds and effects to our gameplay. Let me see here. If I can get out on the streets going. There we go. Just a little bit of tone down some of the sirens, a little bit of adjusting here. If you haven't checked out Sirenscape, check it out. It's free to sign up, and you get the free trial where you can add sounds to your gameplay, whether a game master or player. It's awesome. Also, while that's getting started and sounds are kind of coming into our stream, let me just take a moment and give a shout out to all my supporters on Patreon, the ones that put the fuel on my fire and keep me creating content. I really appreciate all of you, seriously. So Kevin Moreno, Joseph Holder, Naomi Madlass, William Huddleston, Jamie Minch, John Erfurt, Leaded Coffee, Michael Edmonds, a.k.a. Kira, Chris Anderson, Matt James, GM Reservoir Panda, Rothan, a.k.a. Renegade 420, Revolver Gray, Samurai Mac, Steve Barr of Sirenscape, Zeno, Zach, GM Capricious Nature, who runs games for us every week, Cyber Smiley, who runs Tales of the Forlorn Dopes, Raven, Andy Stretton, Copious Salt, Derek, Lawrence, Daniel Terry, Alex Maxwell, what's up? Nicholas King, Tracy Goodwin, aka Stink Palm. Yeah, shout out to all the supporters. Seriously, a lot of you have been supporting me for a long time, not just in gameplay, but part of the community. You stream with me, you create content for it. You just keep Cybernation Uncensored going, and it means a lot. It really does. So shout out to all of you. So yeah, like I said, this is Team Nevermore. They sold themselves to Raven Microcybernetics. And that's where we're going to start. The team, they don't know each other that well. I recommend everyone check out our Session 0 we had a couple weeks ago. The Session 0 VOD. Session 0 VOD is on the Cybernation Uncensored YouTube. You can learn about all of our players, their backstory, life path stuff, the way they all know each other. So like they have a history with Jax being a Ripper, some cyberware stuff here and there, but other than that, they haven't done missions together as a team. This is kind of their first team together, so to speak. All of you have been called in to headquarters. Let me bring that up on Roll20 as well. Just a little bit of imagery, and once in a while on this stream, I will pull up the imagery on the overlay like I'll do right now. Just to kind of set a vibe. If it's a map-heavy situation with combat, obviously I'll bring up the map and everyone watching can kind of see what the players are going through. Other than that, once in a while I'll drop some imagery in there, like this one right here of Raven Microcybernetics, the old building there in Night City with some of that awesome smoggy weather covering the top of the building with the hologram Raven Microcybernetics logo. Pushing out right there. And what can we say about Raven Microcyb? It's basically in the Glen. Its new offices are located in a relatively unadorned corporate skyscraper other than these hologram logos. While they own the building, their offices only make up the top 10 floors. The rest of the building is dedicated to housing their close business partners and sponsors, independent law offices, some independent media brands. The biggest corporate sort of partner that they have, the most recognizable brand that you might see coming through the lobby, is Orbital Air. So they do have Orbital Air as a partner, which is pretty cool. However, our team doesn't really enter through the normal lobby to see any of that normal public workings and RMC branding. You guys enter in the back door. You guys go up the back door to some of the sort of back offices where maybe some operations are kind of kept under wraps considering what your team is. But you all have gathered. You've gathered at the RMC building there. It's a typical day in Night City. You gather up in this conference room, a very cold room with a big table, bunch of chairs. It's where you basically set up. You're basically given your case briefing. Your manager comes in, your operations manager usually gives you your gig. And then you make use of this office to kind of talk, make your plan, socialize, gather your thoughts, and then head out from there. Everything up to you. Absolutely expendable and owned by RMC. So just remember that as well. But all of you have gathered up. You're in this office. It's a morning. It's a Saturday. And yeah, you have gathered up, and your boss has just walked in as the door opens. I'm going to bring up this imagery of your boss so you can kind of see what he looks like. Shout out to artist Crosswire, who does the artwork for my one-shots. He's done it for a lot of my streams. He's now doing all the character design for the Cyberpunk Red Companion app, the official Art-House-oriented companion app. He's also hooking us up with awesome artwork. So here, let's bring out your boss. see. You should be able to see the image right there that he made. Let's see if I can't bring it up on the overlay a little bit here. Just for a moment so chat can check out the awesome artwork by Crosswire. This is Mr. Cromwell. This is your boss. He's a fairly built man, probably physically looking much younger than he actually is, thanks to, well, Raven Microcybernetics, right? He's kind of preserving his looks and maybe some hidden cyberware under his corpo suit. But he enters in. His assistant always stands at the door with the door open. He's always fairly brief. Not a lot of chat here. Obviously, you're owned by the company. He gives the gig and moves on. He's a busy man. But he enters the room, the conference room that you're all sitting in. You barely had a few seconds where you've all met in this room. Barely even got to say good morning. Didn't even get to engage in conversation before he opens the door and enters, his assistant standing in the doorway. Okay, so this is Team Nevermore. Okay, well, I see some familiar faces, some new faces. Let's just get right to it, shall we? Well, this is your first gig. This is what's going on. Rockland Augmentics. And also just a little backstory for those not wrapped in Session 0. Rockland Augmentics is definitely one of the main competitors of RMC. They're always butting heads. So anytime you hear Rockland Augmentics, you can always assume Raven Microcyb is not happy. They're not friendly. So it's never going to be a great start of a conversation. But he starts it off with Rockland Augmentics is having a release party at Euphoria nightclub. Starting tonight for their nano power chip. Now the prototype will be on display for the next 2 weeks in club, and then they go to mass fabrication. I need you to steal this power chip and bring it here. You have 2 weeks while it's on display before it goes to fabrication, so I'd say get to it right away. Oh, and please make it look like Savage Docs did it. And then he looks towards you, Kish, and says, gather evidence, do your thing. Very well.
Of course.
Very well.
He turns and leaves the room.
Well, that was short and to the point.
Yeah, just like his dick.
That guy.
Something to be said about short and to the point.
All of your agents go ping, 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 and you're pretty much getting this little briefing. It's almost word for word, verbatim, what Mr. Cromwell just basically told you to do. But it's there in your agent. That way, if there are any questions about what he has just said, it's there. I can reiterate for you.
Look, and he's redundant, too.
Is it meticulous?
The redundancies are often the best way to ensure problems don't catch us early on. I know, at least I know most of these faces, but you said you'd is it you saw it as Doc. You said you were to collect evidence? Is this part of your thing when you're not cutting into people?
No, I think he was talking to Kish about that.
He's talking to Jax, it seems like.
Yeah, I just call her Doc because I'm typically drugged out of my mind when I'm under the knife, but
No, Scarecrow. I'm Jax.
Jax.
Yeah, and
I can
basically
help
when Cromwell mentioned that gig thing, just to be clear, he definitely looked towards Kish, who's your team media. Obviously, towards the end of the conversation. So the gist of it is, this Rockland Augmentics nano power chip is on display for the next 2 weeks in Club Euphoria. The prototype then goes to fabrication after that. While it's on display for the next 2 weeks, you need to make a plan to steal it. But he said make it look like Savage Docs did it. do your thing with evidence and such, looking towards Kish. Now saying make it look like Savage Docs does it as a team. You all know, like, yeah, you have to do gigs and things like that. But the fact you have a media in this team, one thing that RMC typically flexes on you to do, this being kind of the first gig, but Scarecrow and Kish both have history at RMC. Anyone interested, check out that session 0 to learn about that. But you're familiar with the fact that, yeah, you do these gigs, but to throw the scent off, yeah, you got to make it look like Savage Docs did it, one way or another. There's got to be evidence, rumors, some things like that. You know how a media works when breaking a case. You have that believability, probability sort of roll that you have to do. And it's increased by amounts of actual evidence that you have, right? So, as he says, make it look like Savage Docs did it, looks towards Kish, do your thing. So now you have to figure that out. You basically have to break a media story at the end of this to make it look like Savage Docs did it after you steal this microchip. Got to come up with some believability evidence to increase that believability, which meaning got to think of what that evidence might be, plant it, make it happen, do whatever. And keeping in mind, this is the first session, so I'm going to break it down a little bit like this and kind of explain the gist of what Cromwell means on certain things. But moving forward, obviously, all future sessions, no more meta. I'm not going to, explain little things. But this being the first session, I have to give a little bit of preliminary so you get the feel for Cromwell, for RMC, how things work, obviously. But that's kind of what's up. Kish is your media. You got to use her for the dark side, aside from doing the gig. Yeah.
What are the chances that Hank has played Club Euphoria in the past?
Give me a 1d10. Let me know if it's under your luck stat.
That would be a no. I rolled an 8.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna bring up the dice from the overlay. I got this little overlay spot. I'll pull it up there regularly when we actually do rely on some dice. Other than that, I'll keep it clean. But yeah, no, you've heard of Euphoria. They, have done performances there before. That's about all you know about it, though. You don't know that much about it, but you haven't played there. Yeah.
Would I just know the common knowledge of the Savage Docs as from the book, or should I refer anything?
Yeah, you would have to give me a 1d10 rep check. Jax would get a +2 on that, or -2 in the way rep works.
On who the Savage Docs are.
Right.
On reputation.
Yeah. To see if you already know them. I mean, you can also do library search if you want to just look them up. What was that?
I'm saying my reputation would just be a 0 at this point, wouldn't it?
No. You're giving me a rep check on their reputation to see if you've heard of them. You're doing a rep check to see if you've heard of Savage Docs. You know what I mean?
So roll my reputation?
No. Just roll a 1d10.
Oh, okay, got you.
I'm just seeing if it falls under their rep stat. Yeah, and did Jax roll that too?
Yeah, I rolled a library search.
Sorry. It was the same thing.
Ew. Just rolled that natural 10 out of the way. That's fine.
Yeah. Not getting a lot of history out of this, other than it being a Ripper Doc spot. Hence the name Savage Docs. Jax at least gets up the basics on the library search, and that would actually be 15. Because you get the 2, you'd get the +2 for using your agent on a library search, but Jax gets a +2, being a medtech, being a Ripper Doc, has heard of Savage Docs before, but that they're there in Night City, not too far from where you guys are at in the Glen, kind of South Night City side, but it's a decently sized Ripper Doc joint run by the 5 apprentices of the late Savage Doc and protected by the Yakuza and the Tiger Claws.
fun.
So I guess
Be
the first
interesting.
question is, do we go in during the grand party tonight, or do we go in after hours once everybody's out?
Well, if we go during the hours, we're gonna have to work on some of your clothing options. We don't want to be standing out like that.
Listen, I stole this. I mean, I acquired this jacket fair and square. So I thought it looked very sharp.
Yeah, sharp like somebody like sticking something in my eyes at this point, looking at it.
Harsh.
No offense.
None taken.
I mean, it's about as sharp as a bad chord on a guitar. So
No. I mean, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. No, really. It just. I mean, it's cool. It's just not this club type cool. It just won't fit in where we're going.
What do you have in mind?
I mean, you look about. Would you be about the same size as Hank?
Oh, not Six is a very little guy. He's a very slender frame, like he's a wiry dude.
Yeah, we'll
I
be.
mean, Hank.
Yeah,
Hank,
wee
do you
little gent.
got something.
yeah, Hank isn't huge, but like he's decently built for a guy his size.
Yeah, what might be kind of cool is I wanted to do this at the beginning too, but I know Mr. Cromwell's kind of blunt and kind of in and out with this. Oh shit, we already have a gig on our hands. But let's do a little intro at least. Let everyone know what they're looking at. You have a bit of downtime moment. Cromwell has left. You're kind of discussing who's this Savage Docs and should we go to Euphoria tonight for the entrance. Kish is already making comments about what people are wearing. So you're already starting to socialize a little about this gig. Let's just take a quick moment and describe what everyone's looking at. Gnostics, why don't you start it off? What's he look like?
Yeah, he's wearing a bandana from his head to keep his wild ass hair, out of his eyes. His virtuality goggles on his forehead. Bushy, unkempt beard, like myself. He has. He did have EMP threading previously, but it is we discussed in session 0. It's looking at the scars, but it's got a nice business wear, nice blue blazer that he is sporting over top a kind of a sweaty and stained and greasy looking t-shirt over top, and then as well as some ratty jeans and some boots, a belt buckle that is like a boom box with a very, very tacky belt that is made to look like a piano.
Nice.
I believe that would be it. Unless I'm forgetting
Nice.
something. But
Yeah, what does Hank look like?
Hank's got at this point with his chem hair, bright green, short cropped hair, sunglasses. He's also got a bandana that looks like it's armored, sticking off the side of his belt loop. He's got a very well worn leather vest on that's covered in patches. He also has EMP threading that runs basically down the length of his head or down the length of his face, all through the audio vox implant that he has over his throat, and also wearing a very ratty but bohemian chic kind of t-shirt, bohemian jeans, and some very well-worn shoes that look like they've seen better days, but they're comfortable. He's also got light tattoos covering both of his arms, including a very prominent section that shows the Night City Holocaust.
Nice.
I'm sorry. I did forget to mention that Gnostics also has a chain with him. That's primarily his weapon. It's like a sword cane. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
Nice. What about Jax?
Jax stands about 5'7", short, spiky red and dirty blonde hair, cut off or sleeveless, nomad leather jacket with a red midriff top, 2 cyber arms, a right cyber eye, nomad leather pants and boots, and a body harness underneath.
Nice. What about Scarecrow?
Scarecrow's dressed for this boardroom. Is in a 3-piece suit and the expected Raven Microcybernetics like colors and coordination. He's got a very like short and neat like walnut brown hair. Usually clean shaven, but he's got a bit of a stubble growing in. He's got a top-down profile of a raven skull tattooed over his trigger finger, and he's very very like sharp, dressed to kill, business wear, all up until his boots, which are steel-toed combat boots. Because you don't run in loafers, you don't fight in loafers. It's a very bad idea, and he'll stand by that. That's the hill he will die on. But beneath his jacket, he's got a shoulder holster rig. He's got his Mustang Mark III, just almost always on hand. He's got no overt cyberware. He's got it. It's just very generally low key. Like for someone who's in, if has like an eye for these kinds of things, they would see a slightly off-colored left eye, which is his cybernetic left eye. The rest is primarily internal wear and neural wear, because he has to go places where a lot of chrome might make him stick out.
Oh. What about Kish? What's Kish looking
Yeah,
like
so
today?
She's very colorful, very loud, likes to stand out, be seen, latest fashion. She's got tattoos that just painted on, or makeup tattoos. She's got her garden, not hashtag, but like handle on her arm that glows underneath her skin. She's got colorful stars going down her back that you can see through her light clothing. She's just very, very pop culture in the moment.
Nice. Oh yeah, well now everybody's got a good picture for what they're looking at when looking at each other in this boardroom. And like I said, Cromwell just left. You were able to at least take a moment, do a little bit of research where maybe Jax explains who Savage Docs are, like, hey, this is who we've got to frame for this or whatever. And as I gave that description to Jax,
Right.
yeah, we'll say that she at least knows that. Aside from that, I'll let you take the conversation right there in the boardroom.
So here's what I found on Savage Docs, and I'm looking at Gnostic. What can we dig up and possibly pin on these patsies?
Well, do you happen to know like anybody? Do we know of anybody that's involved with them? Do they have like a specific like a hangout that we could I could take some pictures of maybe them, or maybe they'll be at the event and I could take pictures of them like snooping around. Obviously, right? Or it's going to be seeing each other for 2 weeks. So to know any other known those things, maybe we can see that we can take pictures of while we're looking at it before we take it.
What's the look for Gnostic?
Nope. Audio just glitched for me. Sorry, everybody. Hopefully that wasn't for
Yeah.
everybody.
I was hearing that too.
I was getting some robot in you.
I didn't know if that was just me.
I'm just trying to. There we go. So yeah, you would know that. Yeah. Well, I guess Kish would be asking Jax, where do they normally hang out? Like she said, maybe we can take pictures. Is there anything we can do to incriminate them? Maybe they'll be at that event. Just kind of kicking around some ideas. Jax, one thing that you know about Savage Docks, they don't really hang out in other spots. It used to be ran by old man Savage Doc from back in the 2020 heydays. Now it's run by his 5 apprentices since he's died. But yeah, the 5 apprentices are just what you would expect. Lower level Ripper Docs that all used to apprentice Savage. They run the shop collectively together. They all kind of work together to keep it going. But yeah, it's protected by the Yakuza and the Tiger Claws. That's about all you know. The spot has been there for a long time. As a fellow Ripper Doc, you know about it. You know it's there, But other than it being protected by Yakuza and Tiger Claws and being a Ripper Doc joint, not much more that you know about it.
Okay. Yeah, so... Oh, but
I'm thinking perhaps we attend the grand opening. So then we can at least understand the properties of this newfangled chip they're eager to release on the market, and exactly how and why that would entice someone like Savage. Not simply the money is money, but why that would inspire them to do something with such high risk, so especially when they're such a small operation.
very
and
intuitive, Scarecrow.
And it would give Gnostics a chance to check out their net architecture.
That too, just don't bake your brain.
I think his brain's pretty well baked.
You are a pedantic one.
And not baked as much as I should be.
See, I told you. I like Gnostics. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm glad my container's like four levels down from him because I don't get the smell. But
if
he's good people.
But if the with question to the GM, is the information on the about the gala, is that like common knowledge, like available to find on the garden, in the data pool, etc.?
About Euphoria nightclub?
Yeah, or about the grand reveal and like the what kind of like dress code and what kind of I guess where among like the sociarchal layer cake people are allowed in.
Sure.
Clientele. What do
Yeah.
you like?
Yeah, if everybody wants to do a library search on Euphoria, we could do that. Kind of look up the club and the events.
New character sheet. Who dis? There we go.
I got a 7.
Funny.
Although with my
I got
agent, I think that gives me a 9.
Jax is a
Yeah.
freaking Google wizard. Okay.
Let me see here. Okay, so Gnostics got the 20.
Yeah, Gnostics got the deeds.
Oh.
Yeah, and don't forget too, anytime doing a library search, if you use your agent, you get a +2 bonus on there. But I've added that in doing this math anyways. It would have had to break a 17. It looks like Gnostics is getting the most information out of here. The rest of you get the general sort of generic club information, which is Euphoria is a nightclub in the University District. It's kind of right on the border of University and South Night City, still considered University, not really combat zone. But yeah, Gnostics getting even more detail. Obviously, it's positioned between NCU dorms and shopping complex. This large, modern, trendy nightclub boasts non-stop themed parties, 24/6.75, meaning it only closes Mondays from 6 a.m. to 12 noon for updates, cleanups, deliveries, or theme changes. It's been around since the repopulation of Night City, post-Time of Red. And yeah, that's about all you're getting out of it. Gnostics, out of those details you looked up, what you're seeing is the club parties pretty much 24/7 with themed parties. When you look it up, you can even see like a past theme where it was this whole like tropical beach theme, and they actually trucked in something like 3.5 cubic tons of sand into the club and artificial sunlight and all kinds of crazy setup. Like they go all out with their themed parties. You know that.
Have I partied here before?
That
I feel like I would have partied here before. Would my character have ever partied there?
It's possible. Give me a 1d10. Let me know if it's under your luck stat. I think if there was anybody, it would either be Hank C performing and partying, or Kish as far as obviously media and influencer.
Oh, I got a 10. I don't know if that's good or bad. I rolled a home die.
No problem. It would need to be under your luck stat to be lucky. So unless your luck is a 10, which I don't think it is, you're not lucky enough. Yeah, haven't been there before. But you have heard of it. The gist of kind of what I explained, some of the juicier details coming from Gnostics digging around a bit more on that library search, which are some of those key factors, which is, it runs parties 24/7, only closing on Mondays 6 to noon, for closing down for weekly deliveries, cleanups, any theme changes they need to do, stuff like that. Other than that, it's very tech and AI driven. It's very modern in that sense. Doesn't have a lot of human employees, so to speak. You're seeing that Rockland Augmentics basically has run of the club. It's their presents themed party sort of thing or whatever for the next 2 weeks, just to showcase their nano power chip prototype.
All right, Jax, I got a question for you. If we wanted to incriminate these Savage Docs, because they're rippers from what you said, what would you use to incriminate them?
I'd have to familiarize myself with their technique. That way I could possibly duplicate their handiwork.
So kind of give us the look of somebody who's been to Savage Docs, something like that?
Right.
So I've got chem skin. Do you think you could use that to make it, give us the proper look, proper, what have you?
Could probably give it a shot.
Hank, what's the likelihood that you could get a show that going there? If you could get on the lineup, then we could get backstage, and some of the heavier execs, they like to go and party back with the rock stars backstage.
Well, I can certainly put my charms to it and see if we can get in. Kish, do you think you can find out who is organizing this shindig? See if we can get an audience? Maybe set up something?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I probably know somebody that knows someone who knows someone. I always know someone.
And if not, we can always try to get on the guest list. I mean, between the two of us. Plus, of course. We can get Scarecrow to be our bodyguard.
Oh, yeah, that would actually make more sense. Instead of just bodyguard. Totally would make much more sense.
I know a draft when I smell one. I agree.
Well, let's see if I can get on the card for performing. That's a good way to get in. But if we can't, at least we could try to get on the guest list.
Yeah, no, Gnostic's looking up Euphoria with that library search and getting kind of the details of their, what they're doing, what the club typically does, how Rockland Augmentics is running it the next 2 weeks. So, there's no guest list. It's open to the public the next 2 weeks. They're trying to promote this power chip. They want to promote the prototype to the public, the general public. So for the next 2 weeks, it's on display at this club so people could come, take pictures with it, talk about it, learn about it. I guess it's just this big party going on for 2 weeks to promote it.
Well, in that case, then let's see if I can get ourselves backstage. Who do we need to call?
Yeah, I would say that. To try to get backstage at Euphoria,
or to try and get a gig there as a performer.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, with the media contacts, because you've got, as a rocker boy, you potentially might have fans, things like that. You don't really have immediate connections to Euphoria. We kind of checked that earlier. So you don't have an immediate in. This is obviously a private party, so you'd have to be hired by Rockland Augmentics. Might be a bit difficult to go through that when this has been planned and the release party starts tonight. But Kish as a media does have different connections and hookups. I don't know if these could come into play or be helpful, but let's just go over some of those at least initial hookups. As Kish rank 4 media, you would have a few things. You'd have a city gang honcho. We'll say that a Wraith. This girl, she's part of the Iron Sights. She's a city gang honcho in the sense that she runs a division of the Iron Sights. Not sure if that's helpful in this scenario. You also have a minor politician, a woman named Galena, who's a bit of a lobbyist. She doesn't have you don't have a big political position hookup at rank 4, but you at least know her. She's a lobbyist. She might be able to get you political info or hookups when you need it here and there, at least to whatever degree a lobbyist can hook up. And then you have a corporate executive hookup. And then you have a well-known person in the neighborhood hookup. 2 things here. The neighborhood hookup, I'd love that to be kind of the foundation of the guy on the streets who kind of hears things around town in the combat zones and stuff like that. He's a bit of a drunk. He goes by Pickles. A lot of low-level medias know him starting out. So we'll at least start you with him as a little hookup. He goes by Pickles because he's typically pickled in alcohol. But not
Please,
again.
I love Pickles.
Not sure if he'll be too much help. But again, these are the hookups you have. And then the executive corpo hookup that you know. You should know a corp executive. Obviously, no one's so high ranked like a rank 10 that runs a corporation, but somebody at a corporation, a medium level management or such. Why don't one of you come up with which corporation Kish might have a hookup to? Otherwise, maybe chat can suggest somebody. If anybody in chat knows any Cyberpunk Red corporations or want to make one up, we could rock that for Kish.
Rigel, who is my friend, might. Let me look.
That's funny. Stink Pump says Pickles is awesome. Yeah, I've used Pickles as an NPC on a couple teams, a few teams. He's a good low-level little guy on the street, Comes in handy with street knowledge stuff,
That's one thing we've all seen. That guy's like, it's the aliens, I tell you.
Well, if you've seen the previous Team Veritas, I think I used him in Sirenscape once too. He's a bit of a younger drunk guy. Hangs out at a bar, kind of here on the street. Has quite a few hookups and stuff, but again, he's more on that street level. Just like the city gang honcho is more on that sort of gang lifestyle networking info sort of thing. your minor politician, that woman Galena. She's just a lobbyist, so it might be some general corpo info you can get from her. Other than that, yeah, come up with a corporation for Kish to have a hookup to. But those are your general contacts that Kish has. At any given moment, she can tap into these contacts, try to get information, try to use them however you guys see fit. I don't know if any of those seem useful at this moment, but that's what you have right now.
The politician or the corporate exec sounds particularly enticing.
Yeah.
They're an exec at Rockland. No.
Yeah, that's not. We're not going to be that convenient.
Yeah, no. Because that comes back to bite you later. I'm always biased towards Biotechnica myself, but that's just me.
Well, I'm
You
thinking.
guys could have a hookup to Biotechnica. That could be the exec.
That works. I'm down with that.
It's the media player's ultimate choice, but I'm just saying they're one of my favorites because Sasquatch is out there.
Yeah, we can go with Biotechnica. We'll say a Mr. Springer. Medium level exec works for Biotechnica. If you ever need information from someone like that, anytime Biotechnica sort of things might seem useful, you have that hookup too through Kish. So there's your handful of at least contacts through your media. Aside from that, like I said, Rocker Boy does have fan stuff that can come into play, but we tried to see if there might be some of that with Euphoria. Nothing was kind of tapping into that. Yeah.
Well, the check for Euphoria was to see if I'd ever actually played there. I didn't consider trying to use Charismatic Impact to see if there's any fans who might be able to get us in. But if it's open to the public, we should be able to get in no problem. Then it's just a question of how do we get the Savage Dot incriminated on this little ice.
Sounds like the team needs to discuss that while you're chilling out in this boardroom.
What if we go to the grand opening tonight, the grand opening event, we case the place, see what's going on, see what's going to be there, see what kind of security we're looking at, and Optics can get a glimpse at the net there. And then we can see about how we can get this chip outside of the grand opening.
It's funny that the rocker bar has really the best idea here.
Hey! Just because I'm tatted and wearing leather doesn't mean I'm not smart.
Moment of clarity when he's not stoned.
Jax has got a fair point. I'm not going to debate that.
To talk about later, but let's stay on task, brother.
The
We get over there and get some reconnaissance.
I believe that's the plan. The only thing that's piquing my concern is when they do their 6 hours of downtime, if they reorganize the net architecture during those 6 hours, if it is a complete hard reset of the entire place, or if it's just merely a facelift.
What do you say we take a walk?
I'm down with that.
We take a walk near the building, see the layout of the outside, maybe the fire escape, maybe the alleyways, and we regroup out near a bar. Get ourselves a drink.
I would say that I would appreciate some fresh air, but there's no such thing in this city.
You make a fair point, Scarecrow.
we don't have a driver, so I guess
Who
we're
has a fucking cat? Oh, fuck me.
Oh yeah, no one played in Nomad. Damn it, we forgot something.
Note for a backup character.
No, but hey, when in doubt, you're in Night City. It's so easy just to grab a combat cab or anything super cheap. Usually 50 to 100 euros can get you anywhere in the city, depending on distance. So no stress. At any moment, you guys can always just grab a combat cab and get where you need to be.
Exactly.
There's the option of stealing a cat. Just saying.
I've got two.
Just lift a company car from the garage.
Now, you guys are owned by the company. They definitely don't give you a company car.
I'm not saying they need to give
You're
us
lucky
the
to get
car.
paid.
I'm saying we can take the car.
We can borrow a car.
No, I think it's
Well, let's get a combat cab.
Unofficially requisition one.
Rob, I got a quick question, just because I
Yeah.
like the guns I carry are concealable. My spiked baseball bat isn't. Am I allowed to like open carry that on like strapped to my back while walking through Night City? Is anybody gonna give me any grief for that?
No, typically you can go anywhere with visible weapons, with the exception of kind of the nicer suburbs. You know that this club is in the Glen, which is one of the nicer suburbs. So, yeah, in those spots, it's probably smarter to not be visibly carrying weapons. Yeah. Yeah, like if you're in the nicer spots like the Glen, Little Europe, Upper Marina, like if you're looking at the Night City map, right, any of those green sections, non-combat zone sections, yeah, you might get stopped by District PD, NCPD if you're in those nicer districts with a weapon out in the open. They might stop you to see, hey, are you running security for somebody? Who are you working for? They typically don't want booster gangers and edge runners running through those parts of towns fucking shit up.
Well, in that case, then we need a duffel bag because I got to stow this.
Gnostics would hold up his cane and be like, "That's why I fake a limp, mate."
Oh man.
Oh, that was fake. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Just like has six points performance just to pull off that limp.
That like Kane.
Kish is so positive. I love this.
The one thing I didn't get for gear was a carry-all.
Yeah, and for having to use your media skills for evil, like instead of gathering for believability on the good side, you got to kind of fake it to convince people it's believable. I'm sure Kish definitely has a very uppity attitude for being on this darker side of things. It's maybe very evident that her parents, she's born into this company, as much as she doesn't like it or whatever, it's family business, got to do what you got to do sort of thing. Maybe, I don't know.
I'm acting.
There you go.
All right,
This working. I hate this company.
let's go check out the club and see what we can see.
Yeah, and why don't while you guys get together and flag down a combat cab and start trying to head over to the Glen and check out the Euphoria nightclub, why doesn't Kish give me an acting role and everybody else give me a perception?
Being on the Roll20 tab would help. Where the...
That's a crit success.
Oh, there's a 20.
Gnostic killed it.
And I got a 15.
I'm looking for
Scarecrow.
Nice. Acting should be under performance skills, I think.
What getting all these 10s, like when it comes to combat, it's gonna be
Get them all out.
Snake Eyes.
Yeah, get them all out now, and then combat will be...
Stop it, man. Stop it. Don't bring that kind of bad juju in here. Don't do it.
Nice, that's good. Yeah, it would appear to Hank and Jax that, Kish is, in pretty positive mood considering all of this, where the rest of you, obviously, Gnostics, Scarecrow, you can see through it. Like, you two can tell, like, Kish is acting. She seems very positive, but you can see through those eyes that a little more.
I think just Gnostics, because she beat my roll by 1. So I think just Gnostics. I got a 21.
Oh, okay, so it's just Gnostics.
So close.
Oh no, you got a 21. Add 7 to the roll.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got a 28.
You're mine. Okay. I thought the macro was auto adding. Okay, cool. New sheet.
No, I don't think it adds. That's why it tells you there. Add 7 to that. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, you two can tell. Like I said, Kish has a positive attitude. Seems believable to Hank and Jax, but you two can kind of see through it. She seems to be putting it on.
Mm-hmm. Say nothing. Just quirk of an eyebrow.
Gnostics would give like a little bit of like glance over like around the room, and he would see Scarecrow. I'd be like,
You're just
Nice. Yeah, you pull up, but you get in your combat cab, make your way across town, making your way from Raven Microcyb over to where Euphoria is, which is in University District over there from Glen, which isn't too far from where you guys are at, actually. We'll say that combat cab is only the 50 euro mark, not the 100. So just make note of that too. Anytime that I kind of call out little generic expenses, maybe I have one person in the team. If you guys are all going to kind of divide team expenses, just kind of track those things. The other thing to track yourself too, not that we're in combat, but as you go, I always have teams, just track your bullets, mark it. I've mentioned it with previous teams. I'm not a stickler for it. I don't make that the thing, but I do think it is important, like in gameplay, like you let me know, hey, I got to take this moment to reload, do my clip. Unless you're doing it on the way into combat. You mentioned that, like on the ride, like how sometimes Gnostics, how sometimes a Netrunner will let me know what programs they're preloading in and things like that. So just keep those things in mind. I'm not super strict on those forms of the rules as written, but they are there. So I'll put them kind of in your hands, But yeah, you guys make your way combat cab over to University, and as I kind of described before, you can see Euphoria nightclub positioned in between the Night City University dorms, like a whole strip of dormitories, and a big shopping complex. Think like a big sort of mall. And this Euphoria nightclub is actually kind of in between these dorms and attached to this mall sort of skyscraper building. There's no internal access to the mall, but it is attached at least to that building. You can see that just as pulling up. As you're pulling up to the building, the other things that you notice is the club is pretty much all blocked off. It looks like they have like tents up or something covering it. You can see the big neon sign kind of poking above, and where the strobes kind of shoot off into the sky. As it gets darker, those kind of turn to colors and really light up kind of like a beacon to the club. But they have tents up and walling up. You can tell they're kind of protecting the view from the public, I guess, as they're setting up their release party or whatever. Sometimes when they set up themes and stuff like that, they'll keep it, kind of under wraps until it opens up to the public. That's what you see as you're approaching.
So it's definitely not open to the public right now.
No, not right now.
So we have 2 faces for.
Oh, I cannot believe that I've never been here before. Oh my gosh, this place is amazing.
It does look pretty cool. I will have to admit that.
Motherfucking corporal net dust.
Give me everybody give me a perception too. You're getting out of the combat cab. You have to pay for that. You're kind of on the block of the club. Kind of posted up, people coming and going, lots of college students, just lots of activity for the weekend. What was that?
And for this scoping segment, I'd like to put just all 4 of my solo points into threat detection.
Sure.
This is going to be all of the perception. All right. That's 23, so 27 then.
Nice. Yeah, anybody that got above 15 or 15 or above. Did anybody get below that? It looks like everybody got. Oh,
I got a 13.
okay. Well, we'll say maybe Hank's a little focused on the venue. You can even hear him mumbling to himself, like, "Yeah, I can't believe I never played here before. What the hell?" Like maybe he's just thinking about that a little too much, not noticing what the rest of you are noticing, which is in between the tent setup and the blockades. You can see in between a couple of like the rafter parts that are holding these sections together, and you can see that there's like ice blocks, like big ice blocks, like carved ice blocks and ice blocks kind of being wheeled in. And it looks like there's a couple of refrigerator trucks, like refrigeration trucks that you usually see for transport and such. You can see that going on at least.
Are they going to make artificial snow in there? Oh my gosh! What? Do you think that's what they're doing? Like, those are big blocks of ice. What else could they be doing with that?
I completely missed that.
I know some places they would carve entire glasses for your drink out of ice, but
That is so cool. I bet, yeah, because this place does like themed parties and events and stuff, right? So maybe they're doing like a winter theme, or like I don't know, something like that. That'd be really cool. Or frosty.
Hope it's not that made out of the water from this city.
it's the ice is just turd colored.
I'm sure it's purified.
Just even more gross. It's like pure water is like €100 bucks a gallon or something.
I think it's 100 eddies for a bottle.
It's just like,
They're sparing no expense here.
Is it the would it? I guess this is a kind of like a weird question, but like the current time of year, it wouldn't be a thing for like a winter party thing, right? It's not
Current timing. I mean, for themes.
well, because for it to be like, oh, it's it's set to be like a holiday release, and they'd be doing a winter palace kind of theme
Yeah, I know
or
what you mean. Yeah, nothing is. Well, give me a deduction. Give me a deduction skill check. Let's see if you're connecting any dots while you're contemplating that, Scarecrow.
Let's see. All right, let's make the smooth brain work. Right.
Make the solo think. Oh shit.
Deductions under education.
Rocker boy's making plans
There we
like
go.
an exec. Solo's thinking things out like a tech or
Yeah,
something. This is
there
getting
we
weird.
go. 10.
Nice.
I figure with an intelligence of 5, I'm at least somewhat smart.
Yeah.
I tease it. You know how it is. Any rank, any role, skills can mix and match, and you could, be any type of character. So absolutely. But I got to tease. But yeah, you're not deducing much from this. Nothing's really matching up as far as like holidays, dates, seasons, ice. If that's what you're trying to connect, nothing. Yeah, nothing's clicking.
So it's probably just has to do with something to do with Rockland's order, or whatever this chip is then.
Yeah, you can at least know that it has something to do with the event. You're at the venue, you see they're wheeling it in. Could be, like Gnostic said, ice cups or sculptures or things for a party. Could be, like Kish said, maybe some type of like snow theme style thing going on. But for whatever it's worth, that's what you guys have been able to see.
Is there anybody like actively working around the building or outside the building, or like moving in between, setting things up?
No, you're not seeing anybody out here. The rest of you, though, that saw those kind of ice trucks in the blocks, you do see like a handful of workers coming in and out of the venue beyond those big sort of tarp panels and tenting.
Can I?
I'm going to take a selfie.
Can,
I'm gonna take a selfie with them unloading stuff in the background,
Okay.
just so I can document it. Just in case the ice Which you would think ice is not going to be like a thing, a big deal, but you never know. So I'm taking pictures of the ice.
Right. What was that, Gnostics?
Can I run a scanner?
Yeah, give me that.
A 9.
Nice. Yeah, lots of feedback out here. You're getting, there's a system coming from the traffic lights on the corner. That look like there's a database system right there with the data term. You can tell there is some type of system coming from inside the club. I know that's kind of what you're trying to target. But like I said, you can tell there's a system in there. You're getting a lot of noise beyond that, just from systems in the city and stuff.
I will look at where Kish did the selfie and just kind of look at the workers and be like, think I should go talk to them? I can be friendly, see if we can, maybe somebody's a fan. See if we can get some more information.
Get a good look around the building.
Sure. I at the very least want to see where this goes.
Yeah, give me, yeah, you could do that. What was that, Hank?
I was looking at Scarecrow like, I'm friendly.
I'm not disagreeing. But it's when you put any two volatile things together, they can combust, and I'm here in case they do.
Oh, Jax is there in case they do.
That's true. So Jax, if they fuck me up, I hope that you'll put me back together.
And we were hard on our boss about redundancies. If we have our own.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and walk over to the workers, and make sure I'm putting like my full face forward, trying walk in with confidence, walking like a rock star. By any chance, are any of these workers fans of Hank?
Yeah, give me your charismatic impact. And then just give me 1 second.
All right, I rolled a 6.
Okay. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, you can tell, as you get up in there that these workers, one's like kind of like loading in and out. They work for some type of third-party business, it looks like. Just some generic vans coming in and out. But when you try to speak up and get through, you're stopped immediately by the workers that kind of back you up a little. Hey, we're working here, private event. If you need to come back when they're open, front door's over here. They just kind of brush you off. You can tell they're really busy, whatever they're doing.
All right, I will go ahead and back off. Like I'm not going to get in anybody's face at this point. Last thing we need is that kind of attention. So I'll walk back over to the group and go, well, that didn't work.
Take a walk around the block. See all sides of this venue.
And I know
I'll go with Scarecrow on that.
Yeah, and that's the, sorry, maybe a little clouded from getting over being sick, but earlier when I said public, I said private, and I think I just did there too. I keep switching up public and private. This is absolutely a public event. I don't want to confuse chat or players. So yeah, when he came, if I did say that, I didn't mean it's like public, open to public later, points to the front door, not private, open to public later over there. That might have been confusing, but...
No, you're good. You're good.
Just making sure. I'm a little cloudy, sorry.
I was a little confused.
I kind of figured that's what you were going for,
Yeah.
but it's literally like, hey, we're trying to set up. Yeah, it's public,
Exactly.
but not till later.
Exactly, yeah.
As much as I hate to say it, let's get into the party.
Well, Scarecrow wants to take a look around. I'll go with him. Actually, why don't we all do it just to stay together and stay safe? Because even though this is the university area, you never know what we could run into.
Oh yeah, because this group together doesn't look inconspicuous. Yeah.
Other people, I'm working the front door right now. Like security, just posted up front.
You're gonna fucking recognize us, mate. We can't keep poking around.
Were you
Yeah, yeah.
asking Rob if there was security right now at the front door?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were suggesting to them. Sorry, I missed
All
that.
right.
No.
Um,
GM, are there a security posted at the front door right now?
Yeah, you can see there is a security guy posted up at the front door. Front door is closed, still not open to the public, but you do see the front entrance, and there's a guy standing up there.
I'll stroll up there and strike up a conversation.
Sure. Yeah, give me your conversation
so-
roll and tell me what you say.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm asking. So what time's the event? What time's this event kick off? I'm eager to kind of take a look at what Rockland's got to offer.
Oh, they should be opening this afternoon. I think 3 o'clock. I think they're just setting up a couple more hours. If you want to come back.
Any chance me and my friends could slip in at the head of the line?
Oh, yeah, I can't do that. I'll get fired. This is a big Rockland event. They're releasing some product thing or something. Like, yeah, I can't. They're accounting for everybody coming and going.
What for money, love?
With a couple of hundred, like with some like eddies, kind of loosen your thinking. Allow us to slip in early.
Yeah, I really can't. I'm the only only security here. I don't know if you're familiar with Euphoria, but you know, they'll replace me with AI at the drop of a hat. I'm lucky to be here for the event. Yeah, I can't fuck that up. I'm sorry.
Well, at least you can't blame a girl for trying.
Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah, wish I could help.
Walk back to the group. Yeah, it's gonna be a couple hours. We might want to get comfortable. Post up somewhere. Wait for them to open the doors.
We could always go check out the Savage Dock, see if we can pick up something there.
There's a lot.
They are guarded, and they do have Yakuza ties. So we may want to be careful mucking around with them.
Who's that?
Savage dogs?
No. You said the Yakuza? Like, who's that?
Japanese crime family.
Yeah, underworld, mafioso types.
Just deadpan look from Scarecrow. We grew up in Japan. Just, oh, honey, you'd spend enough time here in Night City. You'll find out, I'm sure.
I mean, I grew up in Watson, so yeah, like they ain't no joke.
I mean, tiger claws. I mean, they're basically the same shit I have to deal with. I've dealt with Chinese gangs all my life. So, I mean, how could it be to get in with the fucking tiger claws, right?
Have you ever
Who's the
met a
tiger
tiger
claw?
claw?
Ah, you doubt yourself. Calm yourself. Come on.
I'm sorry, Kish. I did not mean to interrupt you.
Oh no, I was asking who are these people?
Who are you?
Tiger claws are Chinese mafia also. Or
Japanese.
Yakuza are Japanese, and tiger claws are Chinese.
No, both.
But they
both.
get along. They're friends.
Seems so.
Weren't they? Oh.
Yeah, and just to clarify, Yakuza and Tiger Claws, both Japanese gangs. They Yakuza a bit more crime family, probably a bit more calling the shots versus Tiger Claws. Tiger Claws more the sort of street level booster ganger. So like, you might see a Tiger Claw wearing their colors and looking more booster gang, whereas Yakuza might be a little more sharply dressed, and you might only notice them by certain tattoo markings or certain things they do at times. But yeah, both Japanese roots. Yeah.
Well, Kish, you were saying something about trying to get some pictures of them. Maybe, get pictures of who might have, some of the street level people who might be able to pull off this kind of heist. You want to go get those now?
Yeah, sure. Like, why not? They don't sound too scary.
You're just
I
precious.
suggest extreme caution. I've had dealings with them before. That's how I got this lovely memento pointing at the scar from ear to ear.
Oh, did you like have some implants or something done by them? Do they do that?
No.
God. You need not look further than the face, man. But it's all part of the adventure, right? I suppose.
Well, if to just recall something from an old vid I watched with my friend Numbers, it's not just a job, it's an adventure.
Rob, is there a chance that during Scarecrow's tenure with Arasaka, he may have worked with either some Tiger Claws or some Yakuza, somewhere spread about?
No, I think probably, you would have been so lower level. Being a rank 4 solo now owned by RMC, any history you had would have to be super low level to justify where you're at now. You're probably almost minion level. You know what I mean? On Arasaka, so you wouldn't be working with any, running errands, cleaning up.
If anything, would have just like any crossing of paths probably would have been like goon number 4 with a gun on an exchange.
Okay. And you would know the severity of them, like like how I explained, Tiger Claws are kind of the booster gang level, whereas Yakuza's kind of the step up, more crime family stuff. But obviously Arasaka on top of that, running everything, calling the shots, But you would know the severity of Yakuza and Tiger Claws. They're not to be fucked with. They're no little joke booster gang by any means.
Especially when Jax printed out the scar, this is the faintest just there. If we're going to go and talk to them,
no talk, just like reconnaissance.
Yeah, but if there is an engagement, best manners until manners are no longer an option.
I am Mr. Manners.
I've seen.
Yeah, I had to take a class for that. It was super boring.
So, Cyberpunk Cotillion.
I like that. Manners classes in Night City. I love that. But let's take our 5-minute bio break real quick while the team is gathering up, deciding we've got a few hours till the club opens to public. We weren't able to kind of get in earlier, work any hookups to that. Let's since we got a couple hours to kill, Kish said, hey, maybe I'll go snap some pictures over at Savage Docks. So you guys are gathering in the little combat cab to travel a handful of blocks over to Savage Docks, which isn't too far. If you look at where you guys are in University versus the Glen where you were with RMC and where Savage Docks is, it's all kind of right there in that same little area. But we'll allow the team to get together in the combat cab as you're heading over there to do a little reconnaissance, to chat about that, kind of make your plan, thinking of what it takes to gather evidence to increase your believability when breaking a story, and kind of reverse engineer what you might need to do at the end of the day, aside from stealing this chip to make it look like Savage Docs did it. Little 5-minute break. I'm leaving the mics hot. Chat, feel free to contribute ideas too, and we'll be right back. Don't anybody go anywhere.
I am already loving all of the devious plans. Oh man,
Pretty fucking awesome.
Dude,
The personalities in this group are over the top.
it's like the bubbly wholesome. We've got the chill but will also mouth punch you rocker boy. Noxus's sass and
Garbage. I'm a piece of garbage.
no, but I love because he said he's not a big guy. So he's like really angry dachshund. Like it's like low to the ground will absolutely eat your Achilles tendon.
He doesn't like working in a group. He is very much like, oh, this sucks. I had like fucking Cromwell made me work in a group. Like this sucks.
I can't wait to see everyone in like really like going like to the nines in their element. I'm so stoked.
Dude, at the end of the day, Hank is fun and friendly, and he likes almost everyone.
Yeah, it's like I know veteran punks just like that. It's like a chill guy, laid back, and then you step over that one line they have. You step on their one remaining nerve, and dude, your teeth are gonna be the last solid thing you eat. I'm loving it. We're doing a heist too.
That this is gonna go well.
Yeah, no, I'm not having 77 flashbacks or anything at all.
I'm like, as soon as the heist came up, I'm like, it's a heist. There's a chip. I'm like, okay, so let's hope none of us turn out to be the other character in that heist.
Yeah. Like, my liver's pretty busted, but I was gonna go on that way anyway. Jackie.
Saddest moment, man. Saddest moment.
Well, like one of my buddies from college, and probably my longest standing tabletop nerd, especially when it comes to Cyberpunk. Because he's big Cuban guy, and he was like, I can't wait for Comic-Con. I can cosplay Jackie, and I was like, dude, yeah, it's gonna be awesome. And then release day, a few hours later, after the midnight release, he's like, God damn it. Oh, poor guy. Wait, I'll be right back and drink. I'm don't know what to make of the. I'm the only security guy here. So if that guy's the only security guy, oh man, I'm gonna be dumping all of the +2s to our Netrunner.
Hello.
Hello, yeah. Because if they've just got one, like the one security guy, security guard Steve, and then everything else just drones and turrets.
Oh shit.
Just take my channel points.
I'm glad that I did a quick refresh on my character like a week or two ago, where I was going over the Netrunner stuff. I was like, oh, that's gonna rely on my own handgun skill. Gonna have to redistribute some shit there.
Because I can't judo throw a wall-mounted turret.
No, you can't.
And not with this build of Solo.
Well, if it's a wall-mounted turret, then I could just set it to, attack. But I mean, if it's most of the flying turrets that I carry, or drones or anything like that, then yeah, that's all on me.
It's when you're doing the thick with 3 C's, linear frame Solo. Then yeah, you can wrestle a turret and win.
Oh, Solos and their immaculate combat abilities.
My last solo.
Yeah. Oh man, Calamity. What was your strength at the end of that?
14.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, no, it's
nobody puts you in handcuffs.
Yeah.
Not if they want their arms still to be attached.
Yeah, just 14 strength is just ridiculous.
Yeah, there's the Tuesday game I run. There's one of the Alto Caldo enforcers. He's built like that. Yes, huge, Navajo guy, Sigma frame. And he definitely is the one that's just like, oh, that's a nice, Browning Mark II, and just tears it off someone's roof. It's like, okay, Diego, that's fine. Oh man,
let's step down from what I have. I went with the beta frame.
Yeah, at that point you're just like, put the tank down. We're not stealing the tank.
Yeah. Well, because at that point, just yeah, well, because get the Sigma frame and then get the wear a Metal Gear, and then you are the tank.
I was.
Yeah,
I was wearing Metal Gear the last episode.
Yeah, no, when I was God, at the end of the Nomad thing, seeing everyone's gear loadout, I was just completely slap-jawed, oh my god. Bringing in the Flying Fortress, pop the Magic Dragon, that tickled me pink.
Well, Calamity's in space now, so.
On a character, Rob, if you can you hear me?
Yeah.
On a character level, I have all my programs on my inventory thing, and it just on a simplicity sake for going forward, right, for the moment, I just have everything loaded but the last 2.
Okay.
Just to, for also using the cards.
Nice. Hey, thanks Vampire Bites for the sub. Shout out to Vampire.
You're awesome, Vampire.
All right, cool.
Damn right.
Let's go back here. Everyone can now see us and hear us once again. Well, they could always hear us during break, but now they can see us too. We're back. Hey, everybody, thanks for sticking it out, hanging out for the 5-minute bio break. Like I said, we wouldn't be too long. We'd be right back, and here we are. So let's get back into it. The team basically picked up their first gig from Raven Microcybernetics here, from their boss, Mr. Cromwell. They have to go jack this nano power chip that Rockland Augmentics is putting on display for the next 2 weeks at Club Euphoria, which is a sort of themed club here in Night City. And the team basically has been told, hey, go jack this chip, make it look like Savage Ducks did it, do your whole media thing, and good luck. That's all the info they got. That's the gig. So the team headed out. They kind of scoped out the club a little bit. Weren't able to get too much into it. Looks like they're kind of setting up and things are happening there. But before the club opens in a few hours, they decided to gather up and head over to Savage Docks. Maybe get to go look at who they need to incriminate for stealing this chip. And that's where we'll dive back in. You all are in the combat cab heading over as you're pulling up to Savage Docks. You can basically see Savage Docks, a decently sized Ripper Dock joint right there in South Night City, kind of on the edge of South Night City and University and Glen area. But as you approach, it's not as thick as South Night City combat zone as you're typically used to. This is kind of on the edge, a little bit nicer of combat zone, I guess you would say. But yeah, it's what you would expect, at least in that sense, that the buildings are run down. There's, the occasional sort of barrel of fire with some scavvers hanging out, booster gangers walking around. Arguments, street workers, it's still combat zone, even though it's a little bit nicer on the edge. But you do see Savage Docks, medium-sized facility. You do see people coming and going. It's typically busy there. And out front, you do see a couple guys posted up wearing like booster gang sort of stuff. Not even going to make you do a perception check to kind of match those colors to Tiger Claws. You are seeing a couple Tiger Claw members posted up by the front door. But that's what you see from a distance pulling up.
So as soon as I step out of the as soon as I step out of the combat cab, I'm absolutely going to move my heavy pistol and my SMG from concealed under my vest onto my hip so it's prominently shown, because there ain't no way I'm walking around even a nice combat zone without showing my iron.
What's everybody else doing as you're approaching?
Taking a head count of people sporting Tiger Claws colors, and marking points of entrance and egress.
Yeah, you can see, just kind of take a note of that. Yeah, you're only seeing the 2 Tiger Claw members out by the front door. You can see that the place is positioned next to a parking lot. That at one point used to be a parking garage, but it looks like it might have kind of wrecked down. You can see on the back side of the parking lot where there's still kind of rubble of where the structure once was. But the parking lot now next door is kind of used for locals as well as the Ripper Docks. Like I said, people coming and going from the Ripper Docks, it seems fairly active, but only those 2 Tiger Claw members do you notice by the front door.
I looked at Gnostics. Gnostics, do you think you can check out what kind of net they got, man? Or if there's any way you can access it?
I mean, if I go inside, it'd be easier, but if I go around the back, it might be also helpful. If there's any, check around the alleyways.
What do you think, Scarecrow?
And we've seen our fair share of scavvers just out and about. I'm sure no one's going to raise an eyebrow if we start rummaging through a wrecked car. Air quotes. As long as it's, I don't know what proximity you need to the building to be able to access their net structure, but
Close and against the wall, preferably.
Yeah, like typically Netrunners, you can't access systems through walls and things. Like Gnostics could easily do a scan check and be able to tell where systems are. Even from out here, just like when you were at Euphoria, he was able to tell, hey, there's a system coming from inside the club. You can see the one on the street side. You can detect them. But to actually access them, you have to be within 6 meters and nothing in between you and the system, like a wall. Yeah.
Okay.
So finding out what they got in there is easy enough, but accessing it is a whole nother story.
Okay. Well, at least can you check to see what they got and see where we might be, where we could potentially get access? Probably would be in the building, but
I bet it would be around their offices and usually of the management. They're usually in the back. So if you can get me a distraction, I can get in the alleyway and I can get along the back of the building. Hopefully, I might be able to detect a little bit more there. Savvy?
I'm with you.
Distraction. Trying to.
It feels turning there, Scarecrow.
The player mind is not just trying to decide to, oh, here I go murdering again. I mean, I do have I've just got the one, but I've got a banger. Just throw that down another alley. But
Hey, Jack. Do you think you could get in? Maybe talking about trying to apprentice with them. Get a layout of their building.
I could walk and I could see if they'll let me in to have one of them do some maintenance on one of my cybernetics. See if they'll let me pass, so I can get in and do something like that.
What do you think, Scarecrow?
The more subtle, the better. The subtle knife will cut deeper here.
Do you think you can get me in there? Possibly, Jax.
See, why not? I'll just tell them that you're accompanying me, just to make sure I'm okay.
If we can get into like a center of the building, it'd be better for me.
You might get stuck at the waiting room. I'm not sure how. If they'd let you get any further than that.
Well, we take what we get, right?
Take a walk.
Let's take a walk.
Stroll up to the front and strike up a conversation with the two guards.
Yeah, give me conversation. What's Hank, Scarecrow, and Kish doing while Agnostics and Jax make their way to the front? Need better light in here. These dice. Old man Mulligan eyes here. We were talking about age earlier, right?
Hey, Kish, you want to see if we can grab some selfies? You know, maybe catch some of the people around the building.
I get what you're talking about. Yeah, totally. We should totally do that.
All right. I think Kish and I will just start kind of like walking around, her doing her, her media thing, me, of course, being, the rocker boy, just kind of like pointing out stuff and being like, yo, we're here right now, man. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what kind of trouble we can get into.
I double-clicked Rob.
Oh, okay. And what's Scarecrow gonna do while
Scarecrow's, it's going on a casual stroll. If there's a place that like that's selling like street coffee, he'll pop down at whatever the 2040s version of a Starbucks is, because I'm sure they'll have those in the combat zone anyway. And just grab himself a coffee, tries his best to be inconspicuous, and just primarily if he sees the tiger claws out front starting to get squirrely, he's going to react.
Nice. Yeah, you can do that. There's a little Eddie's Bodega right there across the street. You can always grab some coffee in the combat zone from a place like that and kind of post up.
Yep.
People coming and going. And you got a good eye on Jax and Gnostics as they approach. Jax, what are you saying as you approach these tiger claws?
Hey, is there one of the Savage Docks in? I've got some glitchy systems. I want them to take a look at.
Yeah, they look at each other, look back like, yeah, busy as always, but just go in, sign in. They just gesture you towards the door to enter.
Appreciate it. Come on, Gnostics.
Yeah, as you go, you notice that they both kind of like look you both up and down and just carry no mind, just start looking off, talking to each other. And you pass them and enter the Savage Docks. Kind of opens up into this sort of big lobby with a desk. You can see an older woman behind that desk, like going through a bunch of computer stuff, bunch of scream sheets and things, like patient sheets. She's going through that. There's a line of people, probably about four or five people in front of you, just at a line waiting to talk to this woman as she's just going through things. You can hear, Ripper Doc sounds and things kind of going on in here. And, it just sounds busy. Sounds like things are going on. Typical medtech stuff.
Why are we even bothering with this? We have to get this done. Go along with it.
Let's just get what we need to get. This fucking place is nasty.
Oh, we weren't talking to you.
Oh no.
Sorry.
My apologies. Private conversation.
Who are you talking to, mate?
We're talking to each other.
Listen, let's just get this done. Let's just in and out. Can you get me to an operating room?
We have to wait. I do a bull waiting.
Yeah, it doesn't take that long, though. You do wait, and as you kind of discuss this, and Gnostics maybe gets a little hint that Jax is talking to herself a bit there. It doesn't take long for the woman to kind of filter through patient things. You tell she has a bit of authority. This older woman, when she does speak, speaks with dominance. She's telling people where to go, what to do. Okay, you're next. You're up here. All right, and she's just going through paperwork, and now you two are up. What can we help you with? What seems to be the problem? And you see her kind of scanning you.
Seem to have problems with my cyber eye. It's glitching on me.
Okay, just simple glitches. Yeah, sit off to the side. It's going to be about 10 to 15 minutes, honey. I'm sorry.
You sure? My vision's cutting out.
Believe me, way more serious. Go on, just have a seat. I'll get you into one of the boys soon.
We should have grabbed one of those coffees. Can I provide do a quick scanner from the lobby?
Yeah, you can do a scan from anywhere. Go for it. Hey, Capricious Nature, a bunch of +2s for the team. Nice.
It's making it rain +2s.
Yeah, he is.
I haven't been keeping track of the +2s.
Should we dance or do something for him, or what is? He's making it rain here. I don't know. I feel obligated.
I rolled a 13.
Thanks, Capricious Nature. Oh, nice. That's great. Yeah, you can tell, there's two systems in here. There's a system coming from right behind this front reception desk, like right here. And then there's some type of system coming from the back of the building. You haven't been here before, so you're not sure. You can just tell it's coming from back beyond the main hallway. You haven't passed the lobby yet, though.
And he would whisper over to Jax, be like, just like I thought, it's coming from the back of the building. And then you get back to the manager's office.
Yeah, and then Scarecrow, why don't you give me a perception while you're posted out front, and then Hank and Kish, while you guys are kind of doing selfies and doing that sort of thing. What you notice a guy walking up, one of the Tiger Claws, walking up from the front door, and he just kind of gestures towards you two as you're taking selfies on the side of the building.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to lean in, and I'm going to lean into Hank and be like, oh my gosh, is that one of the crime ward people?
Yes, it is. So just be polite.
Okay. Oh my gosh, hey! Can I get a picture? Are you one of those really cool, tough, gangster type people that I've heard so much about? Can I have a
Love her.
selfie?
And give me a conversation roll, Kish.
It's a 22 for my perception with the +2 for capricious.
Nice, awesome. Yeah, and you can see, like I said, you notice one of the tiger claws from the front door noticing Kish and Hank doing selfies and taking pictures going around the building, you know, inconspicuously, but he does notice and just makes his way over. You can tell he's talking to them right now. But with that perception, excuse me, the other thing that you notice is a tinted out armored vehicle pulls up to the front. And it just stops, and then you see two Yakuza guys get out and go into the building. Like they kind of walk past the other security guy and go into the building. But over to Kish. Yeah, you say that the guy actually responds a bit friendly. You know, he looked like he was a bit annoyed at first in his approach, like he was coming up looking a little angry, a little serious, and, you know, what the fuck are you all doing around the building? But then, you know, you say that, and it actually works. Like he's like, oh, thanks. Yeah, well, I'm working here. No pictures, okay? Just have some respect. If you need to get
You must be somebody. You must be so important. Like, are you like super important? Are you like one of the like higher ups?
Well, I do get hired for security regularly. You know, I hold it down. If it wasn't for me,
You're like one of the main security people. Oh my gosh, this is so cool! Hi, I'm Kishy. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
So, my girl here hadn't been to this part of town.
Not his girl.
Well,
And I'll like wink at
Respectful.
you.
I'm with no, true.
Like friend girl, but like not girlfriend. Just like
Exactly.
just clear that up.
Yeah, exactly. Now, she'd never been to this part of town. She wanted to take in some sights. I've been through here a little bit. You know, I don't live too far from here. So I figured I'd show her around. We grabbed some selfies. I'm Hank C, so, you know, trying to get some exposure. She does her thing. I do mine. My apologies. We weren't trying to cause any kind of ruckus, man.
Okay. No problem. It's fine. He looks back towards Kish, kind of ignoring Hank. And yeah, if you want to get more pictures, feel free. That's fine with me. And
Can I get
you
a
know,
picture?
sure. Yeah, we can take a picture. And
I'm so excited. Okay. And I'm gonna like take a picture, and I'm going to like lean in super close and like try to kiss him on his cheek. So I'm like getting most of his face, and just mine is turned to the side.
yeah, you tell he blushes a little bit, but does the picture. Okay, I need to get back to work before boss gets pissed. But just be careful. You are in the combat zone. You know, just be aware of your surroundings. I'll be over here if you need anything.
I mean,
And I'm like-
I show him my iron. It's like, oh no, dude, I always come prepared. Don't worry.
He kind of stops, and you notice Hank. He looks you up and down, and you can tell he actually is thinking about that. Like he's taking notice that you have weapons and stuff, and has a moment with that, and then okay.
Hey, no offense, dude. I ain't gonna use no offense, dude. I'm in the combat zone. I always know to be prepared. This ain't for you. This is just for me in case somebody else decides they're gonna try something. Because you know the scabbers are out.
Oh my gosh, look at him. He's like so sweet. Like he would ever do anything to us. Hank, put that thing away. Gosh.
You're right. I'm sorry. And I kind of move it back under my vest. I'm not. You know, you're right. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm coming back. I got to get back. I'm sorry. He turns, and you see him make his way back to the front door.
At this point, I kind of shepherd Kish and be like, all right, let's go over and get some coffee before these guys start paying more attention to us.
I did pretty good, right? Like, did I do
You
okay?
did damn good.
I got a picture of him. I got a close-up picture of him. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Okay.
No, you did damn good. You can use that later, right?
I mean, I don't know, maybe. Like, if he's somebody important, he said he was, but, like, you never know with those types, so.
All right, we're going to go over and get some coffee.
Yeah, and then back over to Scarecrow. You see all this kind of go down. Like I said, you notice the security guy go away from the door to go mess with Kish and Hank, but before you can even make sense of it, you see that Kish seems to have it under control, to even taking pictures with the guy. You see that happening. But then you see that armored car pull up, a couple Yakuza types get out. You being familiar, you know, having the Japanese heritage and your sort of work history. I think also life path, not just work in Arasaka, but regardless, you would recognize them. You can tell by the tattoos, the look. They have that look. You know where you're at. You were told, hey, Tiger Claws Yakuza kind of protect this place too. But yeah, you notice a couple Yakuza pull up in a vehicle and go inside.
Is there any any outstanding interaction between the guy who who didn't get completely socially steamrolled. That stayed doing his job. And the Yakuza, they seem to be like friendly equals, or do the Yakuza seem to be like higher pecking order?
You can tell Yakuza seems higher pecking order. They stop and they chat for a moment. You see the one Tiger Claw kind of like gesturing off to the side in the direction where his other guy went off talking to Kish. And then you see the Yakuza kind of like a little more verbal. Then they go inside as the Tiger Claw guy kind of gets on his agent. You see the other guy mention something and go back to the front door.
Yeah, he'll message on his agent. I presume everyone has each other's agent contacts. So I'll just send a quick message to Jackson Gnostics. 2Y incoming. And he's going to have a minor aneurysm over seeing Kish and Hank pull that off.
Nice.
He's like, never in all my life.
And right as Gnostics, you and Jax are inside, oblivious to everything going on outside. But right as bing, both your agents go off. You see a message from Scarecrow saying, "Hey, a couple Yakuza coming in." Right as you're reading that, you see the bing bing kind of door open, and amongst the commotion and medtech sounds and conversations, you see these two guys kind of come in the front, sort of nod towards the lady behind the reception desk, just passing the lobby and going down past the hallway, and you see him going back down into some door at the end of the hallway. There's a bunch of doors you can kind of see down the hall. It's hard to see back there, though, from where you're at.
Suffice to say, that's where we need to be going. Get us in there. Jax, can you get us in there?
Give it a try.
Or at least close.
Try and talk to the lady at the front.
Well, here we go. I think we're up next.
Can we be seen?
Yeah, after you kind of post up, watching them go back to that lobby and kind of kill some time, the lady gestures towards you. You're up if you can. Room 2. One of the boys will see you in a moment.
Head back to room 2.
Yeah, and you notice as you get up and make down the hall, it's like that. There's probably about 4 doors on one side, 4 on the other. Beyond there, it looks like there's some bathrooms. There's some type of stairwell. And then to the left is that door the Yakuza went into, and you can see it says manager's office right there. But you go into room 2, and it's a small waiting room with just the basics. So you being a med tech, you recognize everything in this room is, typical Ripper Doc med tech supplies. Everything from a checkup to cyberware installation could be done here.
Before we step into room 2, just lean over to Gnostics and do your thing. Please try to be inconspicuous.
Hopefully I can get into this. I don't think it's going to be close enough.
Yeah, that there's that system in the lobby behind the desk. Sitting in the lobby, you could probably access that lobby system. But other than that, the other system that's coming from the back room looks like it's coming from, now that you've come down this hallway, it looks like that system was coming from that manager's office. But you would have to be in that room to access it. You can't do it through walls. That's something you got to know.
Door's locked, then
I might have a better time of accessing it through the lobby, but you'd have to give me some cover. They're gonna realize when I start to look like I'm seizing out that I might be chipping in.
And yeah, over to while you're kind of contemplating that and getting back into that waiting room, discussing about, hey, there's a system in the lobby, there's a system in the manager's room, how are we going to access, what can we do? As you're discussing that, back out to Kish and Hank, that security, kind of walk back, hey, I got to get back to the front. You get the message from Scarecrow, hey, looks like a couple Yakuza came in, Gnostics and Jackson. What's Hank and Kish doing now?
I'm going to walk us back over to Scarecrow and just say, all right, so that was 2 Yakuza that just walked in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
I took selfies with them. With the security guard, though.
This could go bad, right?
If there are people inside, make a mess. Yes, it could get very bad. But it is a hornet's nest yet to be kicked.
What do you think we should do?
Well, I can tell you right at this moment, one of those scaver ladies wearing that bag lady chic look that you see in Cyberpunk Red as listed in fashion, comes up pushing a cart filled with old kibble bags that just smell rancid, like she's been collecting old kibble bags out of dumpsters. But she pulls right up to where you three are kind of posted up and says, "Hey, oh my God, I know you, Hank! Hank, you're a rocker, I know you! Oh my God, I know you, will you sign one of my kibble bags?" And she starts freaking out, like digging through kibble bags. Being kind of loud. Just something random and pointless from Capricious Nature they're rewarded in chat.
Sign the buffalo things.
Absolutely. Like, what do you got? What do you got? Let me.
I got garlic and cheese. I got buffalo things. I got
Buffalo. I'll do the buffalo.
Okay, buffalo things. That's the flavor. Sign it. She's holding up the empty bag.
I signed it for her.
All right, she's happy. She just wheels on down the street. A couple other people take notice, but you handled it well. You signed it quick, avoiding the commotion as she continues on.
With a fan base like...
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Sorry.
It's with a fan base like that. I'm surprised you haven't gotten into those premier clubs just yet.
If I could ask...
Shots fired.
We don't... Do we or do we not have any sort of earpieces that we're hearing each other?
Yeah, I'll do this. If no one, if you collectively as a team didn't pay for what is the Cryon or what is it called, the internal agent sort of
Chiron.
thing? Yeah, Chiron. If everyone didn't pay for that internal agent, I'll at least give you, the typical tech of the equivalent of Cyberpunk Red earbud or whatever. So you absolutely can talk to each other.
I have that built in. So in my Thriver audio suite, I have that built in.
Okay, perfect. Mm-hmm. Anybody else have that?
As I bought one of as when doing gear, the external earbead thing.
Nice. Okay, so Hank, you've got the internal Scarecrow. You've got the sort of Bluetooth version.
Yeah. It's
I don't have
the whole yeah.
Yeah, I don't have an internal agent, but I do have the internal communicator.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem then. I'll say at least everybody, depending on what you have on that, can communicate with each other. It'll either be that sort of earbud generic agent sort of thing, or if you have the internal communicator, like Hank does, either of those. Also consider in the future when you guys have money as a team, maybe collectively investing in that sort of hidden internal agent sort of thing. That way you guys can always speak to each other very quiet, incognito, and I won't be doing perception checks to find out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
From an NPC.
From us.
I just look at Scarecrow and be like, really? I'm wounded, man. I'm wounded.
So you've got thick skin. You should be able to handle it just fine.
I'm keeping a list. I'm going to tell you that right now.
I checked it twice, mate.
I can't wait for the holidays.
Well, yeah, Gnostics, you and Jax are chilling in that lobby. And yeah, there's a system coming, from the lobby. There's one in the manager's office. You guys are waiting to see one of the docs.
Is there any way that I'd be able to check in safely without anybody noticing? Or at least, where nobody's in my way?
Yeah, you could stand in the hallway and possibly access the lobby system, keeping in mind that at any moment, when the doc or one of the docs comes to see anyone in the rooms, are going to see you stand in the hallway. If the reception lady sees, those are your options. The other system's in that manager's office room, which you'd have to enter.
Jocks, what did you say? I could say that you're having a malfunction in this room that we just came out of, and then I'm trying to fix it. Or we could try get in that room. It's your call.
You could. I don't have lockpick skills, so if that door is locked, then.
Doors aren't a problem, mate.
And also, shout out to Vampire Bites talking about the vehicle based with radio comms. It's not it's headset scramblers, not linked to agents rules as written. But like you've seen, I've done that in my Sirenscape team as well, and it would make sense, like he suggested as well. You'd have access to agent-linked headsets. Especially working for RMC as Team Nevermore. I would imagine, they would at least give you your internal comm sort of communicators like Hank C would have to be able to do these gigs. So let's go with that at least. I do that with Sirenscape team. It makes sense. Absolutely. Good call, Vampire.
Thanks.
We could roll the dice and try to get in that manager's office, but we're kind of in a hornet's nest. So if we kick it, getting in there is going to be pretty much, I think, kicking the hornet's nest.
I'm going to go ahead and just send a quick message on my agent to Gnostics and Jaxie, just be careful, please. The Yakuza showed up. We need, don't do anything suspicious. Just be cool.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
At least that's in character.
Give me some cover in the hallway, and if anyone gives us trouble, I'll try to jack out real quick.
We can do this.
Try and break into that room, but who knows who's inside there?
That sounds totally reckless. We love it.
Brilliant. All right, so I'm gonna jack in.
So how do you want to go about it?
Kind of near the room that we had just come out of. That's near the manager's office. So if it's in between, maybe I can. Is there any way that I can be kind of in between there, or would I have to be more out in the middle of the lobby?
No, you just need to be within 6 meters of the lobby to get to that system. Literally, you could just step outside of your waiting room into that hallway and be within 6 meters of that system.
All right, so let me do that.
Okay.
All right, so that would be jacking in is 1 net action, right?
Yeah.
Can I do a Pathfinder check?
Yeah, absolutely.
Not good. A 2.
You're basically standing at the top of this system, and you're facing password 8. So you're not able to see past that. How many levels, black ice, what's in there, any of that. It was blocked by that scan roll.
Not good. Oh, scan. Sorry.
Or Pathfinder. Sorry.
Let's do one more. Run through it. Let's see if we can.
Hey, thanks, Chuggy. There's another +2 for the team as well.
+2.
Yeah.
Can I use one of those +2s as I do another Pathfinder?
Go ahead.
Am I able to use one of those +2s?
You can. Yeah.
Okay.
It's up to you. Up to the team.
Because I get a total 3 net action, so this would be my last here.
Absolutely.
Pathfinder 16 plus another 2 would be 18.
Nice. Yeah, you can see this is a little simple two-level system. It looks like you're looking at a password 8, and then down on the second level there's a control node and a file. It doesn't look like there's any black ice in here, but it does look like the control node and the file are both blocked by DV8s. But with that Pathfinder roll, you can see right through them. You can see 2-level system. Down there on the bottom level is the control node and the file.
Got some good stuff up here. Just holding up my back.
I'll say, for me, I think I'll be watching the front, seeing the 2 guards, see if they start moving in. Just kind of keeping an eye on things. If Scarecrow's moving towards the building, I'll follow him.
I'm gonna keep position here. Until there's a ruckus, then I'm right across the street. Because you guys will blend in. I didn't change into my non-business wear. So I will stick like a sore thumb.
Yeah, Scarecrow, Kish, and Hank can, still kind of post up by the bodega, just keeping an eye from across the street. And you see those two Tiger Claws. The one guy kind of made it back to the other security guy, and they're just posted up at the door again. One of them seems to be vaping, the other one fucking around in his agent. Every once in a while, if somebody walks by, they kind of just give the look and back to what they're doing. Very casual sort of security work for them, it seems.
Silently judging, but yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, other than that, that tinted vehicle's still out front. Yakuza are still inside. Combat zone's looking like combat zone. Things are looking normal. Back inside, though, Jax, you're posted up in the waiting room that Gnostics just stepped out of as he's accessing the system. Gnostics, you're in the hallway. Things are still kind of empty. You can hear people talking in the different, waiting rooms. There's still some people in the lobby kind of chatting. Still waiting to be seen by a doc. The lady still behind the desk messing with more paperwork and things. What are you doing?
I'm going to step out of the waiting room and kind of into the hallway where Gnostics is at and kind of keep a watch over him. Pacing back and forth like the waiting room's too full and I'm just antsy.
Okay. Yeah, and over to you, Gnostics.
So for my first action, I'm using Eraser, which increases all my cloak checks made by 2. And then I'm making a cloak check.
Well, typically a cloak check, you'll do that at the end.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, typically like a cloak, you'll do that to kind of cover your tracks. So like once you enter a system, fuck around it, do whatever you're trying to do here. I don't know if you're planting evidence, searching files, doing things.
That's all.
Oh, no. Yeah, once you get in, do whatever you want with the system. And then just before you jack out, typically you want to drop a cloak in there because it's the last thing you do that just covers up you being there. And then whatever that cloak is sets the DV for other netrunners and people to have to break to be able to see your signature being there or whatever.
Well, then I'll keep with installing having Eraser up as my first net action, but I won't use it then. But I will also install Worm, which increases my backdoor checks that I make with +2.
Nice.
So getting past that password, that'd be an 8.
Nice. Yeah, for the sake of streamlining, sometimes, it usually goes to Defender, which in this case would be the system. But as you've seen with my streaming and to keep things sort of streamlined, we'll take it. I usually take those matches with Netrunners. But yeah, you crack that password. You're standing at the top of the system. You know that it just drops down another level to the control node and file. And moving levels is a free action, just so you know.
So yeah, I'm moving down.
Yeah, you drop down. You're facing control node 8 and file ID 8, both DV8s. And before you can kind of...
I was going to say that was all 3 of my net actions.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, before I kind of cycle back around to streamline things, the 3 of you are posted out front. You notice another person kind of coming in the front lobby. Just a normal person walking down the street going into the Ripper docks. You see the Tiger Claws kind of look them up and down and just move and as they step in. Excuse me. And it's at that moment too, Jax, you kind of pacing in the hallway. You see the whole like bing bing and this person kind of come in the front door, start talking to the lady behind the desk, talking about whatever ailment they might have. They're just kind of chatting. And the lady just kind of like points back and turns. As she turns and points and says, yeah, just go in waiting room 1, just 1. She looks back and sees you pacing, Jax. I'm just, excuse me, didn't I say room 3 or 2? What room do you need to go in?
You said room 2, but I'm still waiting in there. And I just wanted to step out and get some air, and then before I head back in.
Okay, please, just keep the hallways clear. You never know when docs have to come and go. We could have an emergency here any moment. Just please stay in the rooms.
Yeah.
She goes back messing with that paperwork and stuff. Gnostics.
All right, so I'd be on the next one with the control node. Is that the next floor
Yeah.
down?
Well, yeah, it's next level down has both the ID, the file, and the control node. Both
And the-
DV8s.
They're on the same floor?
Yeah. Yeah, only 2 floors. Top floor with that password, second floor with the file and the control node.
And then would my ID identify them both or only one at a time?
No, you can, with the ID, you see both. And you can
Okay,
see, yeah,
alright.
you can see through them.
ID? Oh, wait. I thought I had one.
Yeah, when you get down here, it's even more clear. That ID still sees through it. It still passes that DV. You can see there's the control node here that looks like it controls scheduling, doctor-patient scheduling, lights, locks, doors, security cameras. And then there's the file ID, which you can see the file ID is holding those schedule feeds where I guess the lady can kind of set employee schedule, doc schedules. It also has the camera footage dumping into there. So yeah, it looks like on the same level, it's like the control node is feeding that file and vice versa. Looks like some generic, doctor's office information. You'd have to hack it to get specifics, you know what I mean? You have to break that file ID or control node to get control, whichever you're trying to do here.
All right, so let me get the file. And that is an interface 10.
Nice, yeah, you crack the file, and it's like I said, you're seeing the camera footage dumping in here. It looks like it's on like a 30-day cycle, like it cycles through unless they need to pull something, where it's just feeding the security cam footage. Aside from that, yeah, you see the employee sort of list, like the doc schedule, patient schedule, things like that.
So to record both of those to my memory chip that I have, would it take both my next 2 net actions?
No. I'll streamline that. You can copy the files onto if you have an external hard drive or chip. Yeah.
Yep, and the video footage. And then I'm gonna try to. Then with my last action, I'm gonna try to take control of the control node.
Okay. Yeah. Give me your interface.
8.
Nice. Yeah, you get control over the control node. And then back over to Scarecrow, Kish, and Hank. Things are pretty quiet here. Typical combat zone. You notice the new person kind of go into the office. You can hear on your communicators Gnostics trying to fuck with the system. Jack's having words with the receptionist lady. What are you 3 doing posted out in the street?
The Yakuza truck is still there.
Oh, yeah.
So, Kish, do you think you could get a few more photos for your next release? Maybe one that includes that license plate?
Yeah. Does it look like it's on, like somebody's in it and it's just idly sitting, or is it parked and
It's running. Oh, yeah, it's running.
Yeah, totally. And I have a coffee in my hand. I would have purchased a coffee. How much would that? Should I mark it off?
Probably just 5 eddies, yeah.
Okay, I'll take note of that. Yeah, I'm going to casually walk closer over there, and I've consumed most of this since we've been out here for a little bit. I've consumed most of it, but as I'm getting closer, I'm just going to be like meddling, like walking and on my device. And then I'm just going to casually oh no, I spilled my cup of coffee when I get closer to the van, and then I'm going to take my device and snap a photo as I'm leaning down trying to get my coffee, pick up my coffee cup that I just spilled.
Nice. Yeah, give me your stealth.
Oh no, I'm being totally visible. I'm just trying to be okay.
Yeah, no, totally visible. I'm just seeing how stealthy you are on snapping that picture.
Okay.
Yeah, the other part's absolutely not stealthy. You're purposely being clumsy, right? As a cover, yeah. Nice, and it's enough. This was a bit contested. It's for me, just to meta a little, to let you know how we're going along, because I do explain some of the rules, some homebrew, some things as we go. As we get deeper into sessions, I'm going to do less and less of that, obviously, but just so everyone gets a feel for how I GM or whatever. It was just a little contested roll to see if the driver notices you snapping a picture. You obviously wouldn't care with you fumbling down. Somebody might notice that, but just trying to be stealthy and sneak that picture in the process. But didn't notice. Nobody noticed. You got the picture. Back over to Gnostics, Jack, and Jack's inside. Jack's, the lobby lady, you notice, tells the other person, room 1, and then gets up and is actually kind of like escorting that person that came in the door. Looks like they're helping them get to room 1. She's about to kind of come down this hallway. You can kind of see that about to happen.
Gnostics, someone's coming. You need to make this... make what you're doing quicker.
I can see.
Yeah, Gnostics, Jax was at least able to give you a heads up. You know that lady's getting up, trying to help that person that Jax heard her say, hey, room 1, or whatever she said, and was helping her, like she kind of assumed she's coming back this way. Yeah, at least have a few seconds heads up, Gnostics.
So, would take his first net action to erase the video cam footage, and then second net action to turn off the lights in the entire clinic, and then third net action would be to jack out unsafely. And then he would just look at Jackson and be like, time to run.
Did you say jack out unsafely or jack out safely?
Jack out safely. I'm sorry, jack out safely.
I was about to say, bro.
I was reading a lot. Sorry.
So, so you want to delete the camera footage, the saved camera footage that's in there, right?
Yep, and then turn out the lights, and then jack out.
Okay, yeah, no problem. You can do all three of those things. But again, let me just explain so you know, like with the system, like you can delete that footage, but the security cameras are still feeding in real time to that file. Remember that. Every 30 days it flips over. So if you delete the footage, it's as current and previous, but then it's immediately feeding in real time the current footage. So keep that in mind. You might like if you're trying to remove footage of you and your team in the database, and then avoid being on future footage, you would need to put that security camera footage on the control node on a loop. So you would need to run a virus and basically put that shit on a loop, so it doesn't look like you're there. Make it look like it's just running a blank thing or looping a certain section of time, or however you want to do there. The other thing too is you didn't mention the cloak. I know you mentioned it earlier, but it needs to be done at the end, right before jacking out. I know you wanted to do that. So as a GM, I'm being nice as a reminder, because it's also new with Netrunning, right? So just kind of getting you, to wrap your head around all that till you get really used to it. Then you'll kind of know the process. But I didn't want to take that from you because you did mention that earlier.
Let me take my comeuppance. You can let me take my comeuppance.
No, it's fine. I'm literally just giving you a chance to rethink those thoughts, the process, or how you want to go about it. Yeah, because you did mention that earlier too. I don't want to take that from you. I just got to let it be done in the right procedure, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah, but
offering you a do-over.
Well, then if I get a mulligan, then instead of jacking out, then I'm gonna apply a cloak.
Okay, cool. Yeah, do that. Give me your interface.
9. Well, hopefully anyone that comes in there doesn't beat that.
Yeah, and you do that. You basically grab all the.
I had a +2 to that. Sorry, so it would be an 11.
Even better. Yeah, so you're able to grab the camera footage, and at least grab all the existing camera footage. Click off the lights from the control node. Drop in your cloak, all within seconds. But you do that, seeing that boom, all the lights go out in the entire Ripper Dock joint, and you notice like a bit of a commotion. It didn't take more than like a half a second before you hear people like, "Whoa, wait, what the fuck?" Oh, and you hear like like some drilling noises that you heard in like one of the rooms kind of stop, and like a screaming noise, like, oh shit, and like, oh wait, I'm sorry, what happened? Emergency lights, emergency lights. You hear people kind of like yelling in the back, and then you see that lady kind of get up that was escorting the other guy that came in the front door. Jax notices this as well. She just stops. Wait, what's going on? She looks around, making eye contact with you. Jax, back in your room, please. This is what I was talking about. If something happens and you're blocking the hallway, back in the rooms. Everyone, calm down. Back in. She's looking towards you, Jax.
I walk back in the room. Are there any of the Ripper docs coming out of their offices?
No, not yet.
Like towards the waiting? Okay.
No, you hear a bit of a commotion coming from some of the rooms. Like I said, even someone scream at a moment when the lights went out, like someone might have got hurt. They were in the middle of some surgery stuff, possibly. And you hear some people in the back talking, people in the lobby, a little bit of commotion with the receptionist lady, but no one comes out of the rooms yet. It all happens within seconds, and that lady's telling you, please go back in the room.
Six, are you headed out the door, or are you going?
Out of here! Let's run! Fucking run! Before the lights come back on and they identify us.
Good point. Let's bail.
Alright, we're gonna run.
Okay, nice. Yeah, you do that. Both of you give me an athletics check. I'm not doing brawling. No one's blocking you. No one's trying anything. This is just to see if you don't have a complication where you stumble and fall or something crazy.
18.
Nice. Good enough. Yeah. Like I said, I just wanted to make sure Jackson and Gnostics didn't stumble up and trip in the darkness or cause any complications to this plan. But yeah, it actually works like that. She's like, go back into the room. You see Gnostics just kind of get out of the system and grab you and let's go, and you just kind of whiz past. As you're going back, the lady just looks towards you like, wait, I thought you needed to see a doctor. What is going on here?
What?
You don't respond or say anything?
No, I stumble, like as I'm walking, as I'm like moving quick past her. I kind of like stumble into her, and if she's holding like any kind of a badge or something, and I pocket that, and I'm saying I changed my mind, sorry, and head out the door.
Nice. Give me pickpocket.
I did.
Oh shit.
Hold on one second.
It's pure like greased lightning.
Nice. What did you get?
18.
Nice. Yeah, you now have a Savage Doc's employee pass. Looks like some type of badge or pass that she had on like a little clip on her side. And as you bump into her, you're able to jack that as you stumble out the front door. And this is where we'll stop our session with Scarecrow, Kish, and Hank across the street, hanging out as Kish makes her way back. Just snap that picture. Both of you notice Jackson Gnostics come stumbling out the front door, walking with a purpose away from the building fairly fast. But just as you notice that and try to make sense of it, that's where the session ends. So we'll continue next Thursday, next Saturday, right here, same place, same time. Exactly where we ended right here with them coming out of the Ripper docks and Kish and Scarecrow and Hank noticing this. At least Gnostics was able to jack that camera footage, hitting the lights. Yeah, you weren't able to do that loop thing, but that worked out in your favor. That explanation, I kind of like how you said at the end, let's get out of here while the lights are off before they pick you up. So that did kind of make sense. You didn't put the footage on loop or anything like that, but you deleted it, and even though it kept feeding, your next net action was to kill the lights. So it's like, I don't know, that was pretty clever. I like that. That was good. So at least you were able to delete the camera footage, get out of the building without being on more footage in the dark. And then in that process, Jax was able to have a successful pickpocket on reception lady and get a little Savage Doc's badge. That might come in handy. Who knows? Yeah. But you got it, and that's good. At least it's a start. It's a start to session 1. Honestly, I was on the edge of my seat with a little bit of that. I wasn't sure the planning here. I didn't know what you guys were planning on doing here. And with the way some of these rolls happened, I thought for sure it was going to end a lot sketchier. But man, the way Kish handled security out front, the selfie stuff, that stealth roll as well on the vehicle, the way Jax had the successful pickpocket roll as well as my contested roll with Lobby Lady telling her to get out of the hallway. Like, I don't know, the dice were in your favor. I think you guys had a very lucky session 1. I wouldn't count on that next Saturday. But the dice were definitely in the team's favor. It went well, and I thought great role-playing, good decisions here. A lot of fun for a start.
So, well, the dice are hot. Let's
There's no plan.
While the dice are hot, let's jack the Yakuza truck and go.
Hell no! Hell no!
Yeah, I don't like that idea. That's too much. That's too much pressure as a GM to kill you all by session 2. That's too much. That's too much.
What's this button do? Boom.
Yeah, too much pressure.
Gnostic is run away from you all.
Oh, did we lose April?
No, I'm still here, but yeah, my
Oh, I
camera.
Oh, you disappeared into these. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, for some reason my camera's being super weird. I guess the snap camera filter I'm using for my contact lenses is not playing nice. So won't use that next week.
Right. Nice. At least you can still hear us and we can hear you when you're there. I thought for some reason it might have froze on you. We were having issues. But that's good. Yeah, we'll get all little glitches and things fixed by next week. Things will be much smoother. Thanks so much, chat, hanging out and being part of our session 1, our initial sort of Team Nevermore, getting to meet up at RCM, getting the first gig, having to go jack this power chip from Rockland Augmentics, make it look like Savage Docs did it somehow. Yeah, thanks so much for joining us. Also, thanks for all the +2s, all the contributions to the team. Helping it along the way, and shout out to Capricious Nature with the something random. I always enjoy that shit too. It's a lot of fun. And I like when everybody gets to tune in and join. I always tune in to my other fellow GMs and teams, and it's great to see you all joining us as well. Just a little reminder, I am bouncing back from being sick, and that's why I was kind of missing in action the past week, but I am back to normal, somewhat shaking out the sickness, but I'm back to streaming. So everyone check out the Cybernation Uncensored Discord channel, the calendar, tune into all my live streams starting next week. I'm back on the Sirenscape. We have Team Veritas on Wednesday, Sirenscape on Thursday. We're back with Team Nevermore on Saturday, and next Sunday I start my Team Witches for my Dune 2D20. So next week I'm running like 4 or 5 teams all week. Tune in, join me, be part of it, help me along the way, give me encouragement while I'm shaking out the sickness. I should say that too. And yeah, the last thing I want to say is everybody watching, make sure you show support to our players. All of us create content, or at least are online promoting things we do or are part of. We would really appreciate support and love. Make sure you retweet, you like, you share. Anytime you see us pushing things we do, a little support goes a long way. So seriously, consider it. We really appreciate that. Capricious Nature says, "Get down with the sickness." Cybernation Uncensored. No, I'm not getting down with the sickness. I'm getting off of the sickness. Fuck that shit. But yeah, thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you next time. And yeah, thanks to my players, too. Yeah, see you next Saturday. Take care.
Cybernation Uncensored.